Think about the last wellness product or supplement or skincare brand you bought. Have you ever actually verified a single thing they claimed? Like, looked up the study, checked the ingredient dose, read an independent review that wasn't on their website? Yeah, me neither. But we both trust them. And if I had to guess, at least part of why we chose them is because the brand just felt right. The website looked clean, the packaging felt premium. Something about it just gave off a vibe of credibility. That right there is the haloeffect, one of the oldest cognitive biases ever documented, and probably the single most exploited tool in modern branding. Here's what it actually is and why some pretty mediocre products are making genuinely enormous amounts of money because of it. Back in 1920, yes, 1920, this isn't new. A psychologist named Edward Thorndike noticed something odd while studying how military officers rated their soldiers. When a commanding officer judged a soldier to be physically impressive, they automatically gave that same soldier high marks for intelligence, leadership ability, and loyalty, even when there was zero actual evidence for any of it. One positive trait was quietly spreading its glow across every other judgment. He called it the halo effect. That was over 100 years ago, and it's still governing how we judge brands today, in real time. Here's what it looks like now. You land on a website, minimal, clean fonts, lots of white space. Everything just looks considered, expensive almost. And within about 4 seconds, before you have read a single claim, your brain has already quietly decided. This brand knows what it's doing. This feels premium. I can probably trust this. None of that came from evidence. All of it came from how the thing looked. The halo wasn't earned, it was designed. Let me tell you about 4 channels that's how brands are manufacturing halos right now. The first would be visual design, clean typography, a soft color palette, a generous white space signal intentionality. Your brain reads they cared about the details here and without thinking extends that to product. Glossier built $1 billion brands on this before most customers had touched a single product. The second, it's borrowed credibility, a dermatologist on TikTok, an athlete on Instagram, someone casually mentioning peer-reviewed in their bio. That person's credibility transfers directly to the brand, not because the product is suddenly better, but because your brain can't clearly separate the endorser from the thing being endorsed. The brand doesn't build credibility, it rents it. The third would be price as a signal. People given the same wine rated the expensive one as tasting better. Same supplements, same painkillers, higher price, stronger perceived effect. The price tag becomes part of the product experience before the product is even opened. The fourth, unboxing. Apple's packaging is not a cost center, it's a marketing channel. The resistance of the lid, the tissue paper, the way the device sits in the tray, all engineered a halo response before you have pressed a single button. Warren Buffett once said, it takes 20 years to build a reputation and 5 minutes to ruin it. I would add something for 2026. It now takes about 5 seconds of scroll time to fake a reputation well enough to fool most people. Here you go. Here's your one question audit. Next time a brand impresses you immediately, just ask, am I reacting to actual evidence here or to the presentation of the evidence? Let me tell you this, those are not the same thing, and the gap between them is where a lot of money quietly leaves your pocket. Which brand do you think has the biggest gap between how impressive their branding is and how good their actual product is? Drop a name in the comments. Let's have an honest conversation about it. And if this is the kind of thing you want more of, just subscribe and comment. See you in the next decode.